Apparently, the data suggests maybe 90% of people, or some people in Bradford, are marrying their first cousins. Why do you think it's so high?
Probably because they're all inbred. Something I don't know, innit? They probably love each other that much. They're getting in bed with each other and that, and then just doing whatever, innit?
All right, welcome back to the show, everyone. You know, it's been a while since I've covered the topic of inbreeding, and I saw this street interview video, and I just had to watch it along with you because inbreeding is something that is completely ubiquitous amongst the Islamic demographics. I've done a whole video talking about it, and I will just go country by country, and it's crazy how much inbreeding goes on. In a country like Pakistan, it's about 65 to 90% inbreeding rate in that country. But really, it's all across the Islamic world. Afghanistan, Iraq, Libya, Egypt, all throughout like North Africa, all throughout the Middle East. It's just everywhere. And it's interesting to note that if you look at like Christian nations, for example, the inbreeding rate is practically zero. And it transforms your societies. Like it turns out if you're marrying your cousins, it creates terrible societies. So anyway, let's watch this from the streets of none other than jolly old England. Let's go.
So do you know anyone who has actually married their cousin?
So many, even in my families. But myself, I don't like it.
Cousin marriage. A practice most Britons never think about, but one causing significant problems within parts of the country's Pakistani community.
Muslim culture must be married with cousins.
Linked to birth defects, clanism, cousin marriage is fueling a fierce debate over whether Britain should finally ban it.
This will be for people that are married under UK law, whereas most Muslim women and men, they get married under their own, Islamic law.
And nowhere is the issue more visible than in Bradford. While 40 to 60% of British Pakistanis marry their cousins, in parts of Bradford's Pakistani community, the rate is over 90%.
By 90%. Whoa!
0.05% of white locals in Bradford marry their cousins. I asked locals what they thought about the issue.
So do you know anyone who has actually married their cousin?
So many, even in my families.
Really? Here in Bradford or in Sudan?
Yeah, even here in Bradford.
They don't mind it? Why do they do that? Because to some people it seems a bit bizarre.
Like I said to you before, is type of the culture.
A terrible culture, bro.
Family, big family, making arranged marriage, some of them, because this is related to the culture anyway. But myself, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you think they're not worried about, the genetic problems and the issues like that?
Because this is lack of education. Because educated people, they're thinking about that. And making awareness and going for the test or something like that.
And do you think in Bradford here, you see people who have these genetic problems because of the cousin marriage? Do you ever see people that you're like, wow, maybe there's a genetic issue here?
I'm not seeing.
What kind of question is that?
But there are some in background home. Yeah.
There's some data that suggests that Bradford has very high rates of cousins marrying each other. What do you make of that? Do you think that should be banned?
Cousins marrying each other. Yeah, that's totally against, like, in our religion, because I'm a Muslim, that we're totally against that. Any cousins or families marrying each other, mate, go sick, mate.
What is this guy? I'll tell you what, I would say most Muslims have no clue what Islam actually teaches. They're born into it, and then they just go to the West and they kind of imbibe Western values, and they're just completely unaware that they've imbibed a sort of post-Christian ethos. So the fact that this guy can stand here in Bradford, where there is an inbreeding rate of 90% amongst the Muslims, and stand there and go, "Oh no, mate! In our religion, we're totally against it," tells you the kind of level of education that's actually going on the ground there. Quite remarkable.
Apparently, the data suggests maybe 90% of people, or some people in Bradford, are marrying their first cousins. Why do you think it's so high?
Probably because they're all inbred.
Oh. All right. I'm not putting this on. This is genuinely funny. There was a TV show that came out years ago. Some of you may remember it. Some of you have commented it in the chat before. It was called Three Lions. It was a British comedy, and it follows the lives of these guys from probably Bradford that want to become terrorists, and it's just a hilarious documentary. It's not a documentary. It's a funny movie, and they go, "Robber Dinghy Rapids. That's why we're doing it, man." And he just reminds me of that guy. So the reason why there's so much inbreeding is because they're all inbred. Like, do you see the circular kind of logic there? Oh, let's continue.
Something I don't know, innit? They probably love each other that much. They're getting in bed with each other and that, and then just doing whatever, innit?
There's some people who think it should...
All foreigners, though, what are doing it. It's not really UK people.
Do you know anyone who's done it?
No.
There's some people who want the practice banned. Do you think it should be banned?
It's not for me to comment.
Yeah.
Like, not banned, because it'd be wrong for me to say that.
Do you know anyone who's married their cousin here?
Personally, no, I don't. But my friends, they
Oh my gosh!
quite know.
Really, this cough.
Quite a few people.
Really?
Yeah. It's actually quite common within minorities.
Why is it so common here?
Majority, basically. I don't know why they're called minorities anymore. Just admit it. You're now a majority. Like, look at the background. Look at who's walking in the background. Wow, this laugh has caught my cough. Let's continue with watching Bradford's finest and brightest.
Personally, I'm not really sure, but I'm pretty sure it's got to do with, like, certain agreements between families and friends. For example, if a person takes someone's daughter to be married, it could be for religious reasons, or it could be for marital rights towards certain lands and different things.
Some people think that cousin marriage should be banned. Do you agree with that?
Well, it really depends on their point of view, doesn't it? You can't really say much about it unless you actually know what's going on.
Some people think that...
Oh, I really don't like this postmodernism. Why is everyone a postmodernist? Like, no one's willing to go, this is wrong. This is wrong. Because we might hurt someone's feelings. But by doing that, you're basically saying that someone's feelings is superior to objective reality. If you create a culture where people's feelings are superior to facts, run the experiment and you're going to destroy your society. I guess that's what we're seeing.
Cousin marriage should be banned because it causes genetic problems, sort of medical issues.
Well, when it comes to things like that, obviously, to me, like the furthest away from your family is the best, you know. But it's tradition in it. In some religions, in some cultures, it's tradition, and I do believe that, like, a few hundred years ago, like I think it was happening in England as well, you know, like people, like the royal family, they used to marry their cousins and things like that. So it's like, I think it's a cultural thing. Yeah.
So you don't think it should be?
Not actually true. This is one of those things that refuses to die. People kind of intuitively think it's true. Certainly, cousin marriage was a thing. However, it was more so the case amongst royal families, and it was consolidating power, as you would expect, amongst a royal family looking to stay in power. But, and look, Europe might have had its own different history, but right from the get-go, from Christianity in its earliest days, certainly by the point of becoming legal in the Roman Empire, and then there being ecumenical councils and emperors and creating kind of policies for the nation, we know that early church fathers were already prohibiting and saying, like, no, we do not encourage cousin marriage. We won't even let you marry relatives within like 7 degrees of separation. It was all about loving your neighbor, not just loving your own tribe, going beyond. And, cousin marriage was, like, from the earliest days of Christianity, like, discouraged and eventually made illegal. And it was this thing, one of the attributes of Christianity doing this, forever changed what the West was. And it's why the West became what it is. why Europe became what it is. High trust, stable, healthy, high intelligence. So yeah, people think that, oh, you just go back in time, we were just the same as the Muslims. Not true. Hundreds of years before Islam was even an idea in Muhammad's brain, the Christians weren't doing this.
Be banned?
To me, it's like each to their own, innit? I won't marry my cousin, so it's one of them, innit?
There's some data that suggests that a lot of people meet through their cousins here in Bradford. What do you make of that, the kind of cousin marriage issue?
So no, they don't marry. Mostly, you know, my Muslim people, there's some family, they arrange marriage. If the kids, first they ask the kids if they like it. Then lots of people are married in here, and in English or forever.
So you don't think, because some people think that cousin marriages should be banned. Do you think it should be banned?
No, you know, banned. My culture, my Islam culture is, you know, who said to is a banned?
There's a member of parliament who thinks it should be banned because it causes genetic problems.
No, I'm against him because my Muslim culture is must be married with cousins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a Muslim culture, so it's okay basically.
And Islam is allowed if you're married with the uncle's daughter, yeah, children.
Yeah. In Bradford, amongst the Pakistani community.
There we go. Absolutely true. That within Islam, it's encouraged because it's a revelation from Muhammad, and Muhammad himself did it. And since Muhammad is seen as the most perfect human that ever lived, you can't disagree with him. So
there's a lot of cousin marriages, according to the data. What do you make of that?
I mean, what can I say? It's tradition. I'm not going to say anything about it because, you know, I'm not racist. You know, I'm not racist. So, like, I give respect to them. What can I say? It's tradition. I mean, sometimes I think it's in every tradition. What can I say? You know what I mean? Depends.
Yeah, I'm not going to...
Well, that was a non-answer. No, it's not in every culture, bro. It's basically only in the Islamic one. That's what we're talking about here. Like, the UK never had an issue with inbreeding. It's never been a nationwide thing. It's never even been a discussion. When I was at school, if you throwed that word around, you were insulting someone, right? We would say that people that lived in a particular town were inbred. They weren't, but it was just a slur. You would insult them this way. Now, if you call someone inbred, it's like, well, that's their culture. I'm not racist. and what this is just, you know, tiptoeing around Islam, essentially.
Bulging into the business if it's their thing, then it's their thing.
There's a member of parliament who wants to ban cousin marriage because he says it can lead to genetic problems when you have children, you know, sort of medical issues. Do you think it should be banned?
I mean, it's like, it's not his problem, you get me? It's not like it's his kids, you know? It's not his kids, so I don't know why is he... I mean, because if he's on about genetic mutations, he's on about, oh, they're going to be ugly kids, you get me? So he's just basically face-shaming them. That's just racist, in my opinion. I think it's just racist.
I think it's also about the actual medical problems.
Hold on. What? Let me just play that again.
It's like, it's not his problem, you get me? It's not like it's his kids, you know? It's not his kids, so I don't know why is he... I mean, because if he's on about genetic mutations, he's on about, oh, they're going to be ugly kids, you get me? So he's just basically face-shaming them. That's just racist, in my opinion. I think it's just racist.
I think it's also about the actual medical problems.
Welcome to 2026, ladies and gentlemen, the depressing clown world that we now live in, where it is more important to not be viewed as racist by some of the least intelligent people in society than actually try to safeguard children from life-debilitating genetic disorders that can lead to them being born blind, born with organs in the wrong places, born with limbs in the wrong places, with genitals that aren't properly functioning, with a lifespan that is incredibly short, as long as you're not seen as being racist. It's utterly just, I don't know how we got here. I don't know how we got here.
It's just racist.
I think it's also about the actual medical problems like diseases, and it's difficult for people. It's not just about the facial features and so on.
I mean, we have hospitals, good hospitals, you know.
Whoa. Hold on.
And it's difficult for people. It's not just about the facial features and so on.
I mean, we have hospitals, good hospitals, you know.
These people can vote in British democracy. Guys like this. We have hospitals. We have good hospitals. So it doesn't matter. Like, let's not ban cousin marriages. Let's not ban cousin marriages, right? Because someone wants to marry their cousin. And we can't stop them because that's their culture. We can't stop them. But that would just be... Can't even fathom the possibility of doing that, right? Pigs might be flying in that reality. Can't possibly do that. Because we have good hospitals to deal with their children over their entire lifetime dealing with chronic illness at best. Arthritis by the age of 5. Blindness by the age of 3. We've got good hospitals. Who cares? How do people tie their shoelaces on in the morning when they leave the house with that kind of worldview? What kind of schools? What's the state of education in the UK? It is so sad to be the last generation to be born in the UK that saw it while it was still good and then saw it within my lifetime collapse. It's tragic. I can't believe this. I just can't fathom that he just said that. I'm lost for words. This is just one of those videos where you're just watching along and you just can't believe this is real. Like, that people are saying this stuff. At least that's what it feels like to me. It feels like we have just like, I'm peering into a completely different split on the timeline. And yeah, this is what people are walking around believing. And it's amazing for me to watch this. Again, it's from the UK, and you know, to see that there are people who are genuinely believing this stuff and living their day not thinking about this stuff. Meanwhile, it's all around them. It's shaping the aesthetic, the feel, the safety, the health of everyone around them. It's changing the face of Britain. And yet, like, just no one's seeing what's right in front of them. And I guess that's what I do on the show. I cover this stuff and make visible things that maybe people aren't seeing. And so if you're interested in this stuff, if you haven't already subscribed to the show, please do click the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, hype it, comment down below. And if you really want to support the show, you can check out the merch link down below. We've got tons of great designs for hoodies and t-shirts where you can pick up your t-shirt today. Anyway, I'll speak to you in the next one. God bless.